everybody. Welcome to another Common Grounds Meet the Members. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jo Stevens and I'm the coordinator of Common Grounds. And I also have my own businesses as well. I have Quirky Habits, which is all about identifying your emotional habits that stop you from being fabulous. And there's Ladies Who Long Lunch, which is long lunches for women in business to connect, network, and just have some time out away from your office. But today is not about me. Today is about meeting our Common Ground members. And I have the lovely Theresa with us here today. Hi, Theresa.
Hi, Jo, how's it going?
I'm great. Now, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody and tell us who you are and what your business name is?
Of course. So my name is Therese. I'm the founder of Pharmacist Edit. So I'm a pharmacist. I've just been recognized for the for work I've done in education and prevention and health and wellness. So I'm also a health strategist and researcher. I'm one of those nerds, Joe. I think I mentioned it before. Like in uni, I'll be the one raising my hands with questions, and it's almost lunchtime. Everyone's like going sharp, sharp, and I'm like, oh, I'm just curious as a cat, and I've been doing lots of work like helping people with their medications and side effects and interactions. I write reports for GPs. I educate health professionals on the best ways to actually manage chronic conditions. But I always knew that there was more to it than just fighting the fire, putting it out. And really, we need to actually stop this continuum of disease and start at the very beginning so that we don't actually have to go through inflammation and all sorts of big issues. So I myself had a health condition. So I have fatty liver disease, and everyone's like, "Oh, really? You must be a toffee. You're thin on the outside and fat on the inside." And I realized, like, with this whole diet and lifestyle, we want modern conveniences. So we go for the easy hanging fruit because life is really busy as an entrepreneur. And so making best choices is really, really challenging. So I've actually done a lot of research. I'm helping my clients shift stubborn weight. Then they've done all sorts of different diets. It might have helped a little bit, but then it doesn't really last. So I did a lot of research and I tried and tested like different ways. And so I have managed to again help them. And it's really, really amazing how when you know what to look out for in health, it's really, really simple.
So being a pharmacist is what that you're trained to do. And I know that from conversation, you still do a lot of work in that area. And you've talked a little bit about the passion about why you've like wanted to start that. And so did it come like from your own health journey, or was it really because of what you saw as a pharmacist? Was that where like the passion came for it?
Well, actually, it's a little bit of both. And it's a great question because it all started with seeing a lot of people at the end of their health journey. One of the criteria as a medications review pharmacist, they have to have multiple medications. So they've got chronic diabetes, chronic heart failure, mental health. So a lot of like really, really challenging like conditions. And each time like we try to again add a medication or remove a medication that's causing side effects. So the journey is can be really, really tiring. And as a health professional, it's really, really heavy because you can do so much when it's preventing chronic disease. So I'm now gone onto the lighter side and wanting to actually help people prevent chronic disease. So it stemmed from my own condition as well. And I wasn't really told, perhaps perhaps thinking I'm a health professional, I know what to be doing, etc. But 1 in 4 Australians are walking around with fatty liver disease. Joe, I don't know whether you've come across it in your journey.
I have heard a little bit about it
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what it is a preventable condition. And most people can be walking around Australia without any signs and symptoms. So the only way is when you get a scan, and if you have 5% fat in the liver, then you actually classify it as having fatty liver disease. So even if you've got 4% fat in the liver, you might not be actually diagnosed. And the issue is when we don't know what we don't know, that fire and flame of fire, it just goes on and on. And there's the whole consumer disease, and where there's no point of no return. It's really, really hard to reverse that. So I use like a diet, lifestyle, and science-backed strategies. And I was going to share I've got 30 over science-backed strategies that I actually use in my clients. So I was going to share like the top two that's made a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of women that I see, they're healthpreneurs or entrepreneurs. So they have a busy lifestyle. They're juggling everything, and they're coming home overwhelmed because the buck stops, stops with them.
Yeah.
They basically eat. And so, the first question I ask is like, how many hours are you working in a week? So we know like in the science, in the research, if you actually work 55 hours or more a week compared to somebody that works 35, 40 hours, you have a higher chance of heart disease, things like stroke and heart attacks. So
Mm.
it's about finding balance, but also having awareness of what to actually, be looking out for. Like in terms of fatty liver disease, you might not have any symptoms, but then if you got gut issues, constipation, bloating, or diarrhea, it's not a normal consequence of reaching midlife or being a busy sort of entrepreneur. So I think the body can be very talkative. And I help my clients listen to it. And so one of the things we do is a lot of times shifting stubborn weight really, really challenging. And they've tried all sorts of diet from the low carb diet to the carnivore diet. And they might have some results at the beginning, but trying to sustain that sort of lifestyle can be
Yeah,
quite
to
challenging,
maintain it.
especially if you're a
Yeah.
busy career person. So I actually look at like whatever inflammation that could be in their diet. So we look at things like histamine, we look at things like oxalates or things that might be actually causing aggravation, and we personalize it according to their condition. So we find like a lot of the inflammation drops, and with that, like you drop weight as well. So
Uh,
it's yeah.
Sounds awesome. What most women would absolutely love. I know that that's exactly right. So what then, who is your target market? I mean, I know that like this, you've been sending actually, I've been following your social media, and like there's been a lot about like menopause, like that you were talking about
Yes.
happening. Is that your target market, or is there just a range of women and the in types in whatever age?
Yeah. I see a lot of women who actually probably have reached that point of conventional mainstream medication is not working
Yeah.
and they want to do things naturally. So I see a whole range of clients from in their 20s to like in their late sort of like 60s. So whoever, because my mission is to find 10,000 individuals who want to transform their health. So we know that prevention is a difficult ask because nobody wants to move the needle until it's too late. So for me, it's people who are motivated and want to make a difference before it's too late. So the sort of work I do, you have sustainable change because my mission is to reach out to as many people as possible, not to keep as many people in my business as long as possible. So I need a lot of support and help to actually really, really get them there. And so it's about education. So I empower them with resources, how to actually regulate stress chemistry, what's the fastest way, what's your breath work like, do you like aromatherapy? Do you enjoy adaptogens, which is something that helps your body adapt to stress? So getting the easy wins with the science and also helping them sort of like sort out all sorts of issues that is they can't see because they're so focused in building their business and running the day to day that there's no time for a breather. And so it's like go, go, go all the time that they've actually lost that balance. So finding balance through
So are you
science-backed strategies. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but so is your programs like in a way then you individualize it because
Yes.
so the way you're like chatting was like before you were saying like do you like this, do you like that, because I think that's the problem sometimes, isn't it, that we are all so different in so many ways and we like different things, and I will put it out there, I've been on so many diets my whole entire life, tried everything you possibly think of. But sometimes those, the one thing will work for one person, but it won't work for another. So do you like to individualize it? And that will come out probably, and then find out what they love, and that works around them to help them with their mental and their physical well-being.
You hit the nail on the head, Joe. So there's no one size fits all approach. There's no cookie cutter approach. And that's why some diets work for some and it doesn't actually for others. So we actually start with a clean slate. I give them a paid app, like the Chronometer app, where we actually deep dive into what are they eating, what they're drinking, what sort of biometrics they want to be monitoring as we go through as well, because you can only actually control what you measure. So some of my women, they like to go and look at weight. Some of them like to go and look at waist circumference. And so it depends on what actually works for them. Some people, it's like how loose their clothes are and how good they look like in, a size 10, etc. So I help them sort of look good on the outside, but feel even better in the inside. And a lot of times they teach their kids as well, because there is a genetic element. And I think I'm more convinced that more and more that genetic analysis can make a big difference in getting precision in what sort of diet, what sort of lifestyle, what sort of supplements, what sort of herbs best actually will meet the needs of that particular individual. So a lot of my clients, what we do, we test on that really, really clean slate diet, and then we reintroduce foods, because with Teen Spectre and the gut sort of research, we want to actually encourage 30 different like plants a week. And to do that, you're going to have a diverse, amazing selection of gut health and microbiome. So I think it's about balancing what's doable, what's science-backed, but also, like you said, Joe, it's about individualizing it, personalizing it to the person. And now I'm finding, we're doing testing, and because of the experience, it gets easier. But I find like genetics analysis could be the thing of the future.
Absolutely. And and also like, I've had friends of mine who like, I've talked about my weight issues over the years, but then there's friends of mine who have never actually had to struggle with their weight, but they're always tired. And they said that, like, we would go for, I always remember it was a long time ago. It was a friend of mine. We went for a walk. Like, honestly, she was like so skinny. I would say, I always joke and say the wind would knock you over. But she could not walk as far as me. And because her, adrenaline was different and like her physical side of her was different. And so that's another side of it as well, isn't it? As well, if those who don't
Yes,
have that energy,
yes.
it's not just about the losing weight, it's about if you don't have energy, and that overall health, isn't it, so much?
We carry so much as women. We carry the burden and responsibility, aging parents with our families, with our career, with our businesses. So basically, we carry this big burden, but then we forget to self-care and we forget to actually fill our cups. And then one day we wake up really exhausted. And the worst thing is the consequences of chronic stress. A little bit of stress is good. But when you have like a burnout, which is enduring stress that never actually gets relief, that's when you get big problems. Like people who actually work 55 hours or more, there's no wonder that they're getting more heart disease because they're overworking their body and not having the balance. So it's
And
about having like
yeah,
processes and individualizing it to the person. And you're on the money because energy is the
yeah,
commodity that we want as entrepreneurs. You want to wake up bright and cheerful. You want to be your best version, in front of your clients, in front of your friends and family, and be the role model in your community as well. So that's what I help in terms of regulating the stress chemistry, making sure that there is science-backed tools that you can actually rely on when you most need them.
yeah. And I love that. And I think and that's definitely like what's needed because I mean, we need that energy to do the roles that we do. We are, as you mentioned, women, we take on so much. We generally, don't put ourselves first. I know I went down that road for a long, long time. And now I am on a different pathway and my family know that because like I'm like, yeah, this is my moment, people. And I think that that's when, like having that help and having someone to guide you to check that your diet is on track to give you the energy levels that you need is so important. Absolutely very important. Well, I have to be honest, that my gosh, I love it. What kind of programs then do you offer? So is it just mainly the individual one-on-one, or do you have any other programs that you offer for women just to like, even if they want to have a little taste tester or something?
100%. So my signature offering is my educational session. So I run lots of master classes on things like foundations of amazing health. I do things on chronic disease prevention and also hacking sort of all the signs and symptoms that you have, aches and pains, joint pain, headaches, gut issues, things that bother any person. So that's like my sort of biohacking, like female sort of body sort of offering. So I run like these workshops and master classes all the time. But I also offer like one-on-one because obviously you get more when you actually go through a deep dive into that individual. We clarify where they at, where they want to head. And so it can be very, very personalized.
Yeah.
So I would like to offer like the community of common grounds. I just love what you're doing for us. You're providing networking opportunities. It can be so lonely when you're an entrepreneur. So I like to offer like a 20 minutes like health chat with anybody because as you said, we're all different. So we can have a really, really coffee catch up like online. Have a think about where you're at, and if I've got any science-backed strategies, I've got about 30 different ones. Which ones would be best suited to you?
Oh, fantastic. And we will definitely share all your links afterwards. And so with your workshops, like your master classes, are they via Zoom or are they just like you're on Facebook doing or are they videos that you watch?
Yeah. So I actually last week I went face to face at the Australian School of Employment. So it was a face to face like a workshop. We did something on re manage stress, guarantee success. So we went through like the five different senses, the power of aromatherapy, touch, emotional freedom technique, like smell. Aromatherapy is the fastest way to actually tone down and deactivate those three really crazy monkey brains that we have. And so I do workshops like that. I also do online and I also do one-on-one and everything else and in between because I am very passionate. And to again find 10,000 individuals, that's like 10 years, like 1,000 individuals a year. So I love to partner as well, like with any other health practitioners out there because I can't do it on my own, Joe.
No, absolutely. 10,000. That's a big ask. Well, we'll make sure I'll look, I'll make sure that all the email, your contact details are in there, your Facebook and social medias that people can follow you and reach out. And thank you so much for that offer, for that 20 minutes chat. So the links will be in there. You can find that on our Common Grounds website. So commongroundsbrisbane.com.au or .com. We'll take you there as well. And yeah, look, I've actually really enjoyed our chat, but let's kind of end of like what one piece of advice or a quote that you have that you would like to share with our members.
Yep. So one of my favorite quotes is, I think as an individual, you can't lead a horse to water, but you can guide them. So yeah. So I love to again guide people to their destination of choice. So that I think really rising tide lifts up ship. So if we have a healthy, women community, we're gonna have a healthy like Australia, and that's only gonna lift the quality of life and the community that we have.
Live our best life. Absolutely. I totally agree with you there. Thank you so much for your time. I've really appreciated it. And I hope that everybody has, taken some amazing, giveaways there that I have. Like there's many aha moments. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And hope that you all have a great day. Thanks, everybody. See you later.